So Jordan Peterson's daughter came out here and gave an update on his health and what's going on with him. And this is kind of shocking because she basically says, like, yeah, he's barely alive. You know, he's hanging on by a thread. So really, really crazy stuff here. Let's watch some of it.
Hey guys, I have an update on my dad. I'm actually just going to read this. It's on my teleprompter because this is too hard to explain off the cuff, so I wrote it out. This summer has been exceedingly difficult. Dad was in an ICU suffering from pneumonia and sepsis after dealing with a host of neurological issues this summer that we believe stem from CIRS, which is chronic inflammatory response syndrome due to decades of mold exposure. We don't have a better explanation for his neurological symptoms at the moment other than spiritual attacks.
Come again? So remember, guys, remember how he's been like very sickly for a long time? He said he had a benzo addiction and he went to, I think it was Russia, and had to like put in a medically induced coma to withdraw while he was in the coma. And, you know, that's something that they don't do that procedure everywhere because it's like not really all that safe, but he went there and did it. And he's always, remember, he had this weird health stuff. He went on Rogan and said, like, I drank some apple cider and I didn't sleep for 25 days. And so he's always had these weird health things. Well, now, according to his daughter, he has some, like, chronic mold exposure reaction where his body's, like, permanently inflamed, and it was giving him hell. But it's about to get worse. Wait. No, by the way, I'm not even going to touch on the spiritual thing yet. We'll talk about that after it. But listen to what else is going on here.
Which is chronic inflammatory response syndrome due to decades of mold exposure. We don't have a better explanation for his neurological symptoms at the moment other than spiritual attacks. He's been suffering for the last number of years with unexplainable neuropathy and weakness, amongst other symptoms, but they worsened this summer after he cleaned out his parents' basement after his dad, my grandpa, passed away. We weren't able to communicate with Dad really all of September. During the end of the pneumonia, he was diagnosed with critical illness polyneuropathy, which we're hoping is critical illness myopathy, which is bad enough. That's been heartbreaking and brutal on top of everything else. But after almost a month in the ICU, he's been moved out to a less urgent floor.
He was in the ICU for a month? Yeah, guys, I think you need to understand that means like he was nearly dead. If you're in the ICU for a month, you weren't stabilized for a month? Like, what was he, in a fucking coma? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. And they just moved him out of the ICU? This story is very bizarre.
We're still in the midst of this, but now we're seeing improvements daily. The timeline for his full recovery is hard to tell at the moment, and I'll update everyone when we have more information. My family's asking for prayers. Like I said, this summer's been exceedingly difficult and terrifying. Dad's condition is complicated by the fact he can't take most medications without suffering from severe paradoxical reactions, which limits treatment options.
He can't take certain medications. Like, what? Does she mean that, he won't take any benzos because he was addicted to benzos? Is that the idea? Or is it like literal other medications that are not even psychoactive he won't take? That's sort of a weird thing. You're really limiting how much they can help you if you have like a whole list of medications that you can't take for whatever reasons. But I don't know, maybe it is the case that his body just rejects a lot of them because he's always had these weird health things.
Most medications without suffering from severe paradoxical reactions, which limits treatment options. Like I mentioned, I believe there's a spiritual element at play here. I think a lot of people have felt it in the last few weeks and months. It's been hitting my dad and my family hard this summer. In August, the day Dad was brought to a hospital by ambulance, my newborn Audrey was also brought to a hospital by ambulance within hours of each other. It was unbelievable. This was the second time this summer we had brought Audrey to the hospital after she almost died from near heart failure at 6 weeks old. That is exceedingly rare, and they couldn't find a cause for. She was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary hypertension, which seems to have resolved, praise God. But it's not something that happens. This was late July after Dad and I recorded some episodes of the call-in show together. Everything went just really downhill fast after that. Every single day this summer and now fall has been like watching a movie. Our family's relying heavily on the Lord through this and seeing miracles around us. We are. And I'm also aware that God uses everything for good. So eventually we'll see why this is happening or what comes of it. But Mom and I in particular really wanted to reach out and ask for prayers to help everyone get through this.
I'm sorry, man, but the weird super religiosity over this is very strange. What are you talking about? You think it's a spiritual thing? No. Oh my God. And this is brought up casually, like, well, yeah, we think there's a spiritual element, like we think it might be demons or some shit, and so we need prayers to save us. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I don't think that has anything to do with it whatsoever.
Especially for my dad and for my mom. but also for the nurses and doctors taking care of him, my brother, and family and friends who have come to support us. I miss my dad. My brother misses his dad. My mom misses her best friend and husband. Oh, man.
I did not expect to see this, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Glenn Beck says, praying for the protection of the Lord on all of your family, including your dad. This person tweets, long COVID with the meme of Drake, demons. They're saying, oh, no, it's definitely not long COVID. Demons, that's what it is. Life comes at you. 680,000 Palestinians have been slaughtered since this tweet. Karma is an absolute female dog. Maybe he publicly apologized and asked for forgiveness from the Palestinian people. Maybe their forgiveness might ease his pain and suffering. And they're linking to the tweet where Jordan Peterson said, give him hell, Netanyahu, enough is enough. Yeah, well, he sure did give him hell. He sure did give him hell. So some people are saying, oh, this is like karma for him supporting the genocide of Palestinians. Tell him off camera that he doesn't have to support child killing and he doesn't have to fear financial sanctions. He can redeem himself in front of God by apologizing to him for supporting Satanists and child killers. Prayers, of course, particularly touched by including your healthcare team in your prayer requests. We don't get that a lot, blah, blah, blah. A spiritual element. You don't say. Maybe he's suffering with a crisis of conscience. Maybe he needs a soul transplant. Maybe his Zionist friends. So there's a lot of talk under here about Israel, a lot of making fun of the demons thing and spiritual thing. But one of the things, for pity's sake, it's long COVID. Yeah, this is one of the things that I noticed is that, like, a lot of people are going, hey, idiot, it's fucking long COVID that he's dealing with, and none of you guys will acknowledge it because none of you guys think it's fucking real. None of you think it's real, but that's what it is. So what are the options here? It could be long COVID. It could be that he got back on the benzos and wasn't public about it. And so now he's dealing with like another benzo thing going on now. That's certainly possible. It's possible that, remember, he was on that all meat diet for years now? 3-4 years, maybe longer than that. And just eating nothing but steak all the time for years on end. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. So, could that have something to do with it? I don't know, maybe. So it could be benzo withdrawal. It could be long COVID. It could have something to do with the diet stuff. It could have something to do with what they're talking about, this SIRS thing. Reaction to mold or whatever. Could be like some severe autoimmune issue. There's a lot of things it could be, but I don't know. It just seems like it's just weird, right? Because he's not that old. He's not that old to be dealing with something like this, where it's like a life and death issue, and he's chronically hospitalized. But I don't know. I would have liked to got more information from her, because I got to be honest, it sounds like he's barely conscious, right? It sounds like he's not even reacting in real time to people, or certainly at least he wasn't for like a month or so, like he was in a coma or something. But that's wild, man. That is wild. I would hope that they're lean a little bit less on the prayer stuff and the spiritual stuff, and get yourself a fucking like actual super expert on this and listen to whatever the fuck that doctor says. Because in situations like this, that this like hyper religiosity and believing it's spiritual, like that could lead you to make very, very bad medical decisions. And in fact, that may have already happened in this case, where they're making it seem like, oh, he had to reject a bunch of medications because, he reacts badly to them. It's like, does he? Or do you think he does because you have all these weird and false beliefs, like the fact that this is demons and among other things, right? So I don't know, man, but honestly, my takeaway from this is it looks like Jordan Peterson is barely alive. Barely alive. And all we have in terms of specifics are the stuff his daughter's telling us, but I don't know, there might be a whole bunch of this that we don't know. There might be elements of this that we don't know, and it would be nice to figure it out, but this is a really, really horrible story, for sure. Really, really horrible story. But it's not demons, dude, and there's no spiritual element. He's actually really sick with something, and you should probably go to the top doctors to try to figure it out. And you should probably also allow for the possibility that it's something that you didn't think was real, like long COVID. All right, guys, that's the show. I love y'all very much. You know the deal. Everybody, please subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time and costs you absolutely nothing. Also, while you're at it, if you don't mind, you support the show on Patreon. You guys keep the show going. I could not do it without you. You guys make it possible. You could also support Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. That link is below as well. And you could also subscribe to Corin's World, where we do live Kyle and Corin episodes. We try to do it every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if we'll have one today because Corin's at a wedding, but we try to do them as much as possible for you guys over there, so go sub over there. All right, guys, I love you all, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.